So not only did we give authorization to use missiles, and to be honest with you, some of our American leaders have said, well, these are old technology. No matter what, it was an escalation, because guess what happened just last night? Russia did something that was far more dangerous. Not only that, they're starting to build something in Russia. We're going to talk about what they're starting to do, because this should send shockwaves to the American politicians who are literally leading us into war. Also, we're going to discuss what our government just said. Not only have they got a paper shredder at the AG, they're also saying, Ukraine, look, you don't have to pay me back my money. Don't worry about the taxpayers. You keep that money. Now, this is also the same government who has lost tons of funds, and inspector generals have audited to where all the billions are missing. This is all a dirty game. Also, did you see the fact that there is a huge amount of people, migrants, thousands upon thousands, coming towards our border? What's going to happen? Remember, hey, look, the Senate keeps appointing people. These Democrats keep putting lifetime judges in, and guess what? 2 Republicans didn't show up to vote, so guess what? There was new appointments to these positions. Lifetime appointment liberal judges, all because 2 members of Senate could not show up to do their flipping job. And now we have migrants coming. Are we going to actually stop the migrants, or are we just going to be, AWOL to our senators and our leadership just says, well, I guess they can come. Trump's not president yet. Also, we're going to talk about some more senators who would make you sick. I can't stand for anyone to put an R behind their name or call themselves a Republican or conservative when they actually don't side with the Republicans at all. We're going to discuss that today, along with the fact of Doge and what Elon Musk and Vivek just came out and said. Let's dive into some of these stories. A lot to talk about today. Stay with me for the whole video because you're going to be shocked by some of these stories. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that's okay, but let us know what you think about the content of today's video. Again, please verify that you are subscribed to the channel. Again, we're losing them pretty heavy each and every day because I believe that we are speaking truth. And when we speak truth, it scares people. So please make sure you are subscribed and you give us a thumbs up and share this content. Now let's talk about these stories. Let's see what happened last night in Russia. In case you missed it, we allowed, literally Biden in a rainforest says that Zelensky can use our missiles to shoot into Russia. Well, and again, there they go, they did it. Last night, Russia unleashed intercontinental ballistic missiles into Ukraine by the droves. Dozens, if not hundreds. Now, here's the thing. Why is this important? This has never been done so far in this war, where they've come in and aggressively bombed them with these kind of bombs. What's even more unique about this is these same bombs, these ICBM missiles, are also what carries nuclear warheads, what carries the capabilities of nuclear war. This was a telltale sign of saying, look, you are not out of reach. Russia actually came out, Putin actually came out yesterday and said, our missiles are capable of hitting Europe before Europe could even respond. Why are we allowing it to escalate? You know what caused this escalation? Trump winning actually dialed this down. Both Zelensky and Russia said that we believe that there will be peace talks easily happening now. But no, the Democrats cannot let it lie. They cannot give a transition to a new overwhelmingly decided government, which is the Trump presidency. They can't do it. They hate this man so much that they're willing to cause war with. So now we allowed them to escalate it by telling them 2 things. Yes, you shoot our missiles into Russia. And not only that, there was a story that came out that's been actually well-rounded on media, and it says that the Department of State just told Ukraine that they could keep a $4.65 billion hard-earned taxpayer money. That's our money now. They told them they did not have to pay it back. It was the loan at first, but now they just gave it to them. Has the government ever, we're getting ready for tax season. The government's not going to tell me, oh, well, don't worry about paying your taxes. No need. You keep it. So it's my money, and I'm still taxed. Ukraine takes my money, and they don't have to give it back. They don't have to pay it back. No interest, no principal. So that's what our government just did. The State Department just allowed them to not only shoot missiles and cause escalation, but to take our money and just give it to them. It's not even a loan anymore. Just give it to them. This is why these people have to get out of office. This is pathetic. Guess what else Russia is doing? These are two reports, and these are alleged reports. I want you to do your research, but these are two things that are coming out of this situation. Russia airborne nuclear war control planes circling Moscow. They have deployed the nuclear missiles. Now, we just talked about the ICBMs. We also have talked about the fact that Russia has said these kind of new missile technologies they have can hit Europe before Europe could even respond. And now there is word and alleged reports, multiple reports now, saying that they have got nuclear warplanes flying. Now, all this is definitely a threat, but you don't believe they can actually perform the threat? When people threaten something, that means they're willing to go to the lengths to get it done. This is pretty serious. Not only that, they started building nuclear-resistant bunkers. Russia just started building nuclear-resistant bunkers. I want to read this story. Russia starts building nuclear-resistant shelters. Russia has stated that mass producing of this Cub-M mobile bomb shelters designed to protect against nuclear shock waves, radiation, and conventional threats for up to 48 hours. These shelters, which house 54 people, have now been put into production by mass quantities. You believe that's the boy cried wolf? If it was, why are they building shelters to guard against this? Why do you think Sweden is dropping pamphlets to their people saying, hey, make sure you're prepared for war and have the things that you need? All because our lame duck, dementia-ridden administration that we have now gave authorization to escalate a war when they're fixing to lose power in less than 50, 60 days. It's unbelievable. Now, before we go any further with this video and to tell you more outlandish things that our government has done, a word from our sponsor of today. And to be honest with you, we talk about keeping safe. This is a company that will keep you safe, and it's not what you think. If you're like me, you take pride in your home. You hear it, I hear the birds, it's a beautiful sunrise. I love sitting outside and enjoying the home that I'm in. And guess what? We do everything to protect it. You see the doors behind me, the shades right there, the screens. It allows me to know that my home is protected. But what about your title? Have you ever thought about checking the status of your title? Is your title safe? If you've answered you never have, this may be the best investment you can make. For most of us, our homes are sanctuaries. The last thing you want is the biggest investment taken from you. A new report shows that Americans now have $32 trillion in home equity. It's an all-time high. This makes us a target for crimes the FBI calls home stealing, where scammers can transfer your home title in their name and take out loans, draining your hard-earned equity. If no one is watching your home title, that is a danger for you. That puts you in a position that's going to cost you, and it's going to have to make you have to fight for it. That's why we have partnered with Home Title Lock. Let them take care of your home's title so you can focus on what's important, your family, what's inside the home. You can sign up right now for the triple lock protection. That's monitoring, that's alerts, and that's also title restoration. Remember, that's HometitleLock.com. You can get a complete title scan to check exactly what the status is on your title, and also 30 days free of protection by using my promo code THEMAX. Remember, that's HometitleLock.com, promo code THEMAX. This could be some of the best money you ever spend to protect your home virtually. And again, it's like pennies a day. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Promo code THEMAX, HometitleLock.com. Get your title scan today and make sure that you are protected. Hey, don't miss out on this savings. Again, pennies a day. Home Title Lock is a good investment. Now let's keep on going with some of these stories. There's a breaking report that shows that a giant migrant caravan is headed straight for the U.S.-Mexico border. This caravan is purportedly attempting to make the United States border and try to get into the United States prior to Trump taking office. Now, we heard that there's going to be, mass deportation. We heard that they're going to lock down the borders, but when we have thousands of people coming to the border, what they're showing is the Democrats are weak and they believe they can get right across. Arizona and California have both stated, and again, they're border states, remember, they've both stated that they're not going to help with the deportation situation. New Mexico has come out and kind of said the same thing. They've been a little bit more quieter, but again, ran by a Democrat. What you're going to see is these border states overrun. And these people, especially in Arizona, voted overwhelmingly to not have this policy go through. They want protection. And overall, surveys show that 80% of people want safe cities and want deportation to take place in some form or fashion. so Americans can have their jobs back, but also that they can feel safe again. Did you know there are 16 states that now have the Venezuela gang, the one that Trump eradicated, the one that has been kept at bay, and then also now are taking over these complexes, that are taking over these areas and cities? 16 states have reported this taking place with the Venezuela gang. Well, that wouldn't have happened if we had closed the border, wouldn't you think? So we have a migrant caravan coming here. Now that's not to say that all these people are women and children like all the Democrats and all the rhinos want to act like they are. This is people that are wanting to do bad things to Americans. You think those gang members for the Trend gang from Venezuela, you think they're looking out for your best interest in America? Come on. It is amazing to me that we're even having this conversation. All the while, I mean, this is what's taken place and how dangerous our country. We're facing World War III. We're facing the fact of gangs being in our cities, and there's a migrant crisis happening each and every day. And our Congress is worried about what restroom a new congressman is going to use when he gets in office. That's been the battle. That's what blows my mind. Also, you know, Gates, you know, Trump appointed Gates. Guess what? Susan Collins and Murkowski both have come out and said that they will not support Gates for AG. Now, this is the same two quote-unquote Republicans, Maine and Alaska. Get these people out of leadership. Please. These people voted for Ketanji Brown Jackson. They voted for Merrick Garland. They voted for Democrats to get into offices, a lifetime appointment Supreme Court, and also the fact of AG, who was literally going to bring persecution to Republicans. They voted for them, but didn't vote for Amy Coney Barrett. Collins didn't. And also the fact that now they're saying they won't vote for Gates. These people should not have an R behind their name, and they are a disgrace to Republicans. This is the kind of people like Mitch McConnell, the Cornyn's, even Thune, and Murkowski, Collins. These are the people you've got to get out of power. Trump will never get anything passed and never get his cabinet appointed and never truly make America great when you have weakness in the Senate and then the House. A bunch of yellow belly, no backbone men and women. Now I blame the men more than the women, because the men should be standing up for these values and morals and standing up for Americans. But no, they're worried more about Ukrainian people and the fact of what restroom someone uses, or the fact of appointing somebody who can't even tell you what a woman is as Supreme Court level. Unconjugal. Unbelievable. This is what we're facing. So Trump has got an uphill battle because he's got to deal with not just Democrats, he's got to deal with Republicans who won't toe the line and actually gives appointments through. Maine and Alaska, you voted for Trump. These areas voted for Trump. Get these people out of office. They've been there way too long. Get them out of office. If you want to see real change, you've got to quit electing the people who are messing it up and all the bureaucracy. That leads me to the next story. Did you know that the Doge, Elon and Vivek has said less than 10% of offices overall in America for the government buildings are filled? Meaning there's 90% of waste in these government buildings, these multi-million-dollar buildings we're building. What it is people are still quote-unquote working from home since 2020. What it is we didn't need the space that we built, and taxpayers had to fund all this stuff and have to keep the upkeep of these buildings up. And all the while, there's been a mass exodus of people because they're saying Elon is going to make us work 5 days in the office. If our government can't have workers in the office for 5 days for a 40-hour work week, we're paying them full time, they don't need to work for the government. Because guess what? I'm working 50 to 60 hours a week for 2 or 3 jobs plus running a farm. And it's not fair to take my tax dollars to pay for somebody to sit at home and not work a 40-hour work week and just live off the government. To just not really have a job because of the waste that we're seeing with this government. We are needing a change. We are needing something different. And if Trump gets the right people in, we could see that. I don't like Dr. Oz. I think that was a horrible choice. I'm not a big Rubio fan. But if we can't get these people that are appointed, that the ones that are staunch conservatives, the ones that are willing to be firebrands and fight for things to take place in what Trump wants, if we have to deal with Murkowskis and Collins and McConnells and all that, then look, man, you better be prepared. Because if Trump can't do this, no one's going to be able to do this. No one. So we have to make sure that this stuff is happening. It's sad that Gates had to go meet, Gates and Vance had to go meet with Lindsey Graham for Lindsey Graham to vote for him, primary him. Tim Scott just hired a group for the leadership of the Republican Senate to ultimately, it's literally made up of never-Trumpers. The group that is helping him run the Republican Senate office that he now holds is actually made up of never-Trumpers. Go back and look it up. He's in a Senate leadership position, Tim Scott is. And he just brought in a group that is completely against Donald Trump. Now you tell me how that makes sense. These Republicans are not for you. They're for their own gain and their own selfish wishes. Please make sure that you are primarying these people back in your states. If I can do anything, I'd plead with you. I plead with Mississippians to vote Roger Wicker out. Same way. It's sad that we're sending weak people to Washington, and we vote for a president to change and do good things and shut down half of this waste. But when we elect the Senate and the Congress to do it, they just are weak and they never get it done and just lock up what Trump may want to do. Whew. I'm sorry. That was a tangent and a rant. It just makes me ill because if we want to see a turning point in America, there's only a few ways it can happen. You can do a pendulum swing by saying I'm electing someone who wants to change voluntarily, which is what we did with Trump. However, if Senate Republicans and Republican congressmen get in the way of that, then the only other way that you're going to have a reset or change is because it's going to be brought to you by a nuclear war, brought to you by War III, or brought to you by a global movement of reset, a new world. Those things will happen. It's one of two ways. We voluntarily do it better, or we get made to do it. It's a sad time when we have to fight for Republicans to stand up for morals and values. Literally, all Mike Johnson talked about yesterday, the Speaker of the House, who I cannot stand, all he talked about yesterday, instead of worried about what really is important with Americans, he's worried about making sure a bathroom is taken care of for this new congressman. It's mind-blowing. Why do we keep electing these people to office? Blows my mind. I'm hoping that Trump does get in. I'm hoping that this war will subside. I hope that he has back channels with Russia and Ukraine to say, listen, quit escalating. This leader is fisting to be out. We will sit down and we will negotiate. I hope he's got back channels already open, because if he does not, while Russia is telling they can bomb Europe, with Russia saying they're building new bunkers, with the fact that they're releasing ICBMs just last night, is a sign that I don't think no one's ready for. America is not ready for this. We think we're out of it because we're split with two monster oceans. Do not believe that. We could be involved in this war in a second. Colonel McGregor, I want to mention one thing he said. He said Trump will be in the storm of the century. He's saying he has been given a storm, and not no little storm. It's the storm of the century, and let's see if he can handle it. Not because we think he can't, it's because they have made it so flippin' bad on him that he is going to face economic turmoil, but not only that, a massive escalation in war. And this has come from someone who has been on the front lines, who understands battle, who understands war more than just about anybody that's still living on this earth. Pay attention, guys, the storm is coming. Guys, thank you for watching. Check out our sponsors. Again, talking about keeping safe. We live in a digital world. Make sure that you're keeping your family safe and your home safe, not by just locking it up physical, but also the fact that you don't want someone stealing your title. Man, there's hackers and things going on all the time. Make sure you're protected. And then again, pray. Our nation needs prayer. Our nation needs to turn back to Christ. That's the only hope, is to find peace spiritually. And hopefully God can use some of these people and we can have a great awakening in the right way. Guys, thank you for watching. God bless.
Yeah.